Well, hello there. It's Jen DeTracey, the founder of Women Thriving with MS. And what I do is I help guide and support women who want to move from that surviving to striving to thriving place in their life. And it's a journey, right? I've been living with multiple sclerosis for over 11 years now. And today I want to talk about celebrating and knowing the person, like being the person that you can be. It's so easy to look at all the things that you can't do in life while being a woman who lives with multiple sclerosis. I think that's the place that when you're smacked with diagnosis, when you're smacked with that information and whatever physical, mental, emotional things that come with it, it's easy to go down into the pit. We have all been there. All humans have been there. The fact is that when you can be the person that you can be in the world, it is so much more empowering. So much more empowering. And this is a journey that has been an ongoing one for myself. For those of you who have been watching on this Facebook page, Women Thriving with MS, or part of the free Women Thriving with MS and Fatigue private group, or the Allow Healing group with MS, you know that not every day of this journey of my life is all flower, roses, and sunshine. As we might say. You know, it's been a long path, and there are always going to be ups and downs, right? That's life. Life is a bit of a roller coaster, and our job is to try and stabilize that roller coaster. I personally am not one who cares for drama. I try and avoid drama as much as possible. I find that helps me so much with calming my nervous system. And today I'm going to talk about 3 keys to being the person that you can be. And for me, I needed to look at these areas in myself to get to this place. Because maybe before you were diagnosed with MS, you had certain strengths that you don't have now. And others that you had maybe grew like a flower into something even more beautiful. For me, I always cared about other people, and I've always been a person of service, giving to others. But where I lacked the most, I think in my life, just from my upbringing mostly, was around having empathy for other human beings and being able to tap into that empathy, as opposed to shutting down. And that has been something that since living with MS and since working on myself, and since understanding how the brain works and how we as human beings operate in the world in general, I was able to discover, yes, I have the ability to be a compassionate, empathic person, to be able to give empathy, to have understanding. I feel it in my body. And maybe I did before, but I wasn't really aware of it in that way. So I think the key is that no matter where you're at in living with MS, how much things may be progressing or on a standstill for you, or slowly changing, or rapid fire change, is that you still have strengths. You know, you're not MS. It's a piece of you, it's a part of you, but it's not who you are. Yes, it impacts many and maybe almost all areas of your life. That's a possibility, yes. I can say, yes, it impacts a lot of areas of my life and requires a lot of planning. But you have strengths. You have beautiful, juicy strengths in you. And that's a piece of who you are, and it's so important to remember. I think another strength that I have is this part of me who likes to come up with the solution to my own problems. Now we can, if you're like that too, you can raise your hand, give me a thumbs up or a heart. But here's the thing, is that it's great when we do it for ourselves, but sometimes other people do not want us to solve their problems for them. As we know, as women living with MS, we do not want advice from every Tom, Joe, Joan, and Cynthia out there about how we should live our life with MS. I was so inundated when I was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis that I just kind of shut that part of me off. I did not want help from anybody, and I went to the other extreme of dealing with myself in a place of isolation, loneliness, and despair. So there's that balance. Oh, but no matter where you're at in your life, you have strengths. So I want to ask you to think about what would be your top 3 strengths that you have that bring you to this place that you can be the self that you want to be, because they come naturally to you. It's not even something that you have to, you have to practice. It's just a part of who you are. And that is a beautiful thing. I know that there are women in the Women Thriving with MS and Fatigue group, and even in the We Thrive membership, who are very creative people, that they can create beautiful things, art. And that is one of their strengths, their superpowers. So what is it for you? And it doesn't have to be something big and fantastic. It can be a small thing. For me, I think one of my strengths in some ways is my stubbornness because it keeps me going when I'm having a hard time. What about you? What are those 3 core strengths for you? For me, I'd say empathy, compassion, being able to troubleshoot or solve problems, and my stubbornness to keep myself going. Doesn't mean I don't rest, it's important. So what are those 3 strengths for you? Then I want to ask you to be the person that you can be. What are your values? What do you hold as important to you? For me, inclusion is important. I would have never started Women Thriving with MS to serve women, to coach women, to guide women on how to move from that surviving to striving to thriving. I would have never started if I didn't believe in inclusion, because it started with me just saying, okay, I want to connect with other women that live with MS. I don't want to be isolated anymore. I want to share the journey that I've been through, and maybe that might help somebody. But also, like when I'm doing coaching, I'm not giving advice. Coaching isn't even about that. It's about pulling the natural beauty and discovery out of each of the women that I work with. It's about tapping into the powers that exist in you, strengths and your values. So to me, including is important. And that's why it's so wonderful to have a community. And if you're not part of the Women Thriving with MS and Fatigue community, come join it. It's free, and we'd love to have you. So that's a big value for me. Another value for me is fun. And it's not like I'm doing fun things all the time. It's just that I recognize that is important to me, to have fun in my life. And the fun for me can be sitting down and reading a really good book and being totally immersed in that book. Fun can be binging through a series on Netflix that's so good. I can't wait to find out what the next one is. Now, binging for me may not be like, the 24-hour binge. I don't do that. That's like, that's not my speed. It's about spending time with my family. It's about going out and doing things with friends when I can. It's about reaching out to people and connecting. It's about being around friends where we can laugh at ourselves you know, laugh at each other, right? So those are important values to me. So inclusion and fun, and let's see what else. And I guess connection and family. Those ones are important to me too. And then, so ask yourself, what are those values for you? I mean, I have a lot of different values, but I'm just kind of pinpointing the core ones for me. So if you were to think about or ponder, what are those 3 core values that come to mind for you about being the person that you can be, because they're already in you. Just like the strengths are in you, these values are in you, right? You don't have to go looking for them. They're already there. They're already who you are, so that you can be the person that you can be. And then the third thing is about believing in yourself. I say, hallelujah to that, right? Do I believe in myself every day of every minute? Nah. I have doubts. I get pushed up against a wall. Maybe someone says something to me and I feel bad about myself, or I doubt my ability, or I feel, you know, imposter syndrome, where you know, you're like, here I am on camera and I'm talking to all of you, and who am I? You know, I don't feel that way anymore, but I did in the beginning when I started this page, when I started the Women Thriving with MS and Fatigue group, when I started doing the membership, We Thrive. Yeah, sure. Because when you do new things, there's going to be a learning curve. So, but the more that you can stretch yourself in certain ways, build that capacity, which I believe as a woman who lives with MS, you're always stretching yourself. You're always building capacity, because you're met with struggle at times. Sometimes more, sometimes less. You know, as many of you know, I have been traveling around Greece. I have 70 days, and I stayed in one place, Athens, for a whole month. And now I've been moving around, and I'm realizing, oh my gosh, how much downtime I need. And in Greek culture, it's about community. It's like you're going this place, you're doing that, you're, you know, and finding strategies for myself to manage that. But because I believe in myself and I have that inner confidence of knowing what I can and can't do, I can set boundaries. So this morning, I went out for a short period of time with my sweetie's family, and then there was going to be a coffee at the coffee shop, and I'm like, no, I'm coming back here. I'm going to do my live and connect with my people. And it's because I have that belief in myself. I have that inner understanding of what I can and can't do and where my capacity is. And at the same time, I did things on this juncture of, I wouldn't call it a trip, because it is a trip, but it's not a vacation in the same way as I'm going away for 2 weeks and coming home. I'm like away for 70 days. I'm managing all kinds of things, like getting over a MS relapse. That started while I'm here in having vertigo, my goodness, you know, but I believed in myself enough to know that I could manage it. If it happened on the trip, I could pull through. Now, there's been some days in the last week and a half where I felt pretty barfy, nauseous, and struggled with energy, right? So I had to curl up into a ball and slow it down. But because I believe in myself, I don't feel bad. I don't feel bad that I can't do that family thing or this or whatever. I'm like, okay, I'm taking care of myself so that I can get better as quickly as possible. I believe in myself because I know my limits. Now, sometimes I'm going to push over. Who hasn't ever pushed over their limits? Give me a thumbs up or a heart, you know, or some kind of emoji if you've ever pushed over your limits. We all have, right? I mean, and that's about how we are being ourselves, being the self that we can be in the world. Sometimes we are going to push over because we know that what we're going to experience is going to be serve our needs and our values, and we're willing to like curl up in bed the next day. You know, there's choices that we make, and when you believe in yourself, you can get clear about those choices because you know already, if I have a big day tomorrow, then I know the next day is going to be maybe a little rough or a lot rough. And that's once you get to know yourself living with MS, then you can be the person that you want to be in the world because you can make those choices, those decisions for yourself. So right now I'm sitting down, got some beautiful flowers next to me. I'm sharing this with you, which energizes me. And I'm just by myself. I'm not having to be in a cafe and having a coffee and you know, having that stimulation of conversation, much of it in Greek, which I'm very limited in. So I get to be here with you, and that's me believing in myself, taking care of myself, and understanding my values and my strengths. So I'm inviting you to do three things. Think about what are your top 3 strengths and celebrate yourself for them, because that is a part of being the person that you can be. Number two is to ponder what are the top 3 values that you hold that are most important to you. As I said, inclusion, fun, community, and connection are the top 3. And if I didn't have those, I wouldn't be here doing a live with you today, right? So think about what those 3 are for you. So then you'll have your 3 strengths, you'll have your 3 values, and then number 3 is believe in yourself. So how do you believe in yourself? How are you navigating the world in this time and space in your life, living with MS, no matter to what degree you're experiencing it and the symptoms and mobility or whatever, brain fog, whatever those things are for you. And at the core, where is that belief in yourself right now, right? What are the parts of yourself that you can already right now believe in yourself around, whether it's self-care or just even being aware, having this heightened awareness around the cycles of MS in your life. That is even believing in yourself because you have that conscious awareness of it. And I think these 3 things, knowing your strengths, knowing your values, and believing in yourself, even if not completely, even if you only have that belief in yourself 10, 20, 30%, if you focus on that, it will grow. It will grow. Am I at 100% of believing in myself? No. I'm a human being. I'm perfectly imperfect, right? But I think over time, I continue to grow in that area of believing in myself. And I think that makes a big difference. So there you go. I'm going to pack up the rest of my luggage and get ready to catch a bus back from a beautiful place that I am now, Odessa, the waterfall city. It's a beautiful little town with rivers and waterfalls. And I'm heading back to the second biggest city in Greece, which is Thessaloniki. So I know today's a travel day. I know that I'm going to be very bivouacked tomorrow. I believe in myself. I also have one commitment that I need to rally for tonight. So know yourself, right? Know yourself. Know your strengths, your values, and what you already believe in within yourself. And this is how you can live your life. You can be the person that you can be. I'm Jen DeTracey, the founder of Women Thriving with MS, and I'll see you soon. Have a great day.